name is Jonatan Vseviov, and I'm the Secretary General of the Estonian Foreign Ministry. For us democracies, misinformation and disinformation is frankly an existential threat. Not in of itself, but we need to be aware of the fact that these are tools used by our authoritarian challengers who wish to undermine democracy, destroy our ability to defend our way of life in the world, and create as much paralysis and chaos within our societies as they can. The Russian modus operandi when it comes to disseminating disinformation has been consistent with what they tried to do back in the days of the Cold War as the Soviet Union. Now, technology has changed. They now can use social media and the internet to disseminate their narratives, but the basic elements of the modus operandi have remained the same. So what they're trying to do is not convince us in our societies of an alternative version of the truth. What they're trying to do is disseminate enough false narratives to confuse us into paralysis and perhaps chaos. I mean, eventually, there's a risk that democracy will cease to work. If people lose trust in democratic institutions, I mean, democracies are so dependent upon trust. I mean, not trust vis-a-vis your political leaders per se, or trust vis-a-vis the political parties that you have. And this can change, and that's okay. I mean, this is normal in democracies to get politicians thrown out of office from time to time because they lose the trust of the public. The trust I'm talking about is trust vis-a-vis our institutions, the core institutions of our government. And if we start losing that, then we have a problem. And I think all around the free world, we're seeing this problem rather increase. The last time we as a human society went through a significant change in the way humans interact with each other was in the mid to late 19th century, when the printing press became a thing, and when industrialization brought people from the countryside to the cities. And it shook society and its institutions to the core. The absolutist monarchies of Europe were unable to reform themselves to meet the challenges of the day. The good thing is that democracy has, over time, proven to be extremely flexible. We're good at adapting to new situations because there are mechanisms in place in our system of government that help us alleviate pressure. If you're unhappy with the government, you can change your leading politicians. I'm sure the same challenges are confronting our authoritarian colleagues, if you will. There are no flexibility increasing mechanisms in their societies, so they're under pressure too. It's not as if we're the only ones that are being affected by these changes. The question is whether we have enough time and whether we're smart enough to adapt to the changing realities before the tensions grow too big. The rise of extremist political forces, the polarization within our societies are all indicators of the same big strategic change that is taking place. So we'd better take all of this seriously. Now, the attacks against us by authoritarian states like Russia need to be taken seriously as well, and they need to be dealt with in the short term. In the long term, we need to be able to adapt our democracies to the changing realities, and here again, education, I think, is going to be key.